Good morning. It is race morning. I am still not. I'm far from 100%. I don't feel good, but I feel good enough to race. If today was just like a training day, I wouldn't be running. If today was a full marathon, I probably wouldn't be doing it. But a half, I can bang out a half. Yeah, it is 4 minutes to 4 in the morning. I got to drive down to Pittsburgh, get parked. Oh, this is gonna be a morning. I got to drive down to Pittsburgh, get parked, walk about a mile to the hotel where I have to pick up my race pack, walk back to my car, drop my race pack off, get my number on, change my shoes out, and walk a mile back to the start finish line. I might be able to park closer, but I don't know. I don't know Pittsburgh well enough to know if there's parking closer, and I also don't know what street closures are going to look like. There will be street closures, so I don't know how close I'm actually going to be able to get it. Oh, excuse me. It's not horrible, but it's not preferable. Weather is supposed to be low 60s and rainy, which isn't horrible, especially if it's not windy. If it's windy, that might actually suck. But no, if the wind stays away, then it might not be too bad. I bought a rain jacket. Coincidentally, I bought a rain jacket when I ran the full Pittsburgh Marathon in 2018, I think it was. I'll be wearing the same rain jacket today because it looks like it's gonna rain. So it is what it is. I don't know how much more video beyond this I'm going to get between now and the end of the race. So if I do get more video, I'll splice it all together. If I don't, then you'll get this, and then you'll get kind of like a post-race thing, which I might not even do until I get home. We'll see. But anyway, that's it. Take it easy for now, and wish me luck on this drive. All right, I'm here. No problems getting down. I'm tired. I feel like crap. Yeah, there's already. Well, I shouldn't say already. These lots open up at like 4, but there are definitely people here. Yeah, I guess not a lot to talk about right now. The weather, it's drizzly out. Wouldn't call it rain, so that's good. But now I got to go on a little hike to get my race packets, drop it back off the car, get to the starting line. It is, what time is it now? My phone's my camera, and my car, what's the time say in the car? 5:21. It's 5:21 right now. What am I doing? What am I doing? Alright, that's it. Well, I'll catch up in a bit. Maybe. We'll see. This is the Roberto Clemente Bridge, and that was PNC Park that you just saw.
Runners, the airborne that you will hear next is for the hand cyclists only. But at this time, we are going to invite all of you to give a loud round of applause for our tips of the spear right here, our hand cycling division. Let's hear it for them.
that's it. It's all over. Yeah, well, here, start with this. Here's the finisher's medal. This might be my favorite finisher's medal of all time, of all the races that I've done. I really like this one. If you can't tell, it's kind of a map of the city of Pittsburgh with the rivers coming through. I really like this finisher's medal. How was the race? First off, a few things. More crowd support than I think I've seen at any of the other races I've been. And I've been to some big marathons. The Flying Pig in Cincinnati is a big one. I would say there was as much, if not more, crowd support here, at least on the half marathon course. I don't know about the marathon course. There will be. I'm going to put a picture in at the end of this. It's a picture going across a bridge. It was right after the half marathon split. The marathon runners should be on the right of the picture. The marathon runner should be on the right of the picture. The half marathon runner should be on the left. And you can see how many more people run the half marathons than the marathons. I have a theory that for these city races, the half marathoners are basically the ones who pay for it all, because the cost, even though the full marathon is double the distance, it's not double the cost typically, not that I've seen. So I think these races really get a lot of their revenue from the half marathoners. But anyway, the weather was okay. Temperature was fine. It was pretty muggy, and we were looking good, and then it started sprinkling. For anyone who doesn't know, they break people down into groups based off of your expected finishing time. I was in corral D. They went to A, B. They had a B1 and B2 for some reason, but they had A, B1, B2, C, D, and E. So I was next to last. The race started at 7 o'clock. The people that are on like the wheelchairs and the hand bikes, they started at like 6:45. So the runner started at 7. My corral, we didn't actually start running until I think it was 7:25, 7:25, something like that. And like right around the start of the race, it started sprinkling, not pouring down rain, not raining hard, but it was sprinkling, and it was getting cold, and it was enough to make my feet wet, and they never dried out. And I think that played into that. Honestly, what hurt me more than anything else in this race, the first time this is happening, my toes. More specifically, not the big toe, but the second one in, on both my feet was really hurting, and it hurt a lot more when I walked. The problem that I was having was I had to walk a lot more than I was anticipating. Finishing time at 2:56 and change. Considering the fact that I'm sick, I'll take it. It's not, I was hoping to do better, but I'm certainly not going to complain in the slightest, given all things considered. But because I was, my theory, I think because I was sick, my heart rate was elevated. I couldn't get my heart rate down. So I ended up doing a lot more walking than what I was initially anticipating. I'm gonna get the key off my shoe while I'm talking. So that because I was actually thinking I was probably going to come closer to 2:30. This was, a couple weeks ago. But the other thing too is I never had my 12-mile. I never had my 12-mile run like I had scheduled into my training. So this was new distance for me since surgery. This is new distance for me by 3 miles. So I'm not gonna complain. I'm not gonna feel bad about it. I'm thrilled just to have it in my rearview mirror. It was a good race. Like I said, a lot of crowd support. At least for the half-mile side, 5 live musical acts. The first one was there was a death metal band playing, and they actually weren't too bad. I'm not into death metal, but they weren't bad. The second one, what was the second one? What was it? The second one was a jazz band, but they happened to not be playing when I went past. What else was there? There's jazz. There was a polka band. That was fun. And I think they were there every year at the same place. I remember them from when I ran it in 2018. They were still there. There was just a regular like classic rock band. They were playing Tom Petty when I went through, and then there was a guy rapping. So 5 live music acts as I was coming through. Like I said, a ton of crowd support, which a lot more than what I remember. This race seems to be gaining in popularity. I'd heard 2 different numbers. I'd heard 21,000 runners. I heard 23,000 runners. That to me would, I think, I see, that's the thing. I've done some other races, but I don't know. Like Cleveland had a lot. I know Cincinnati had a lot when I ran it, and I don't know what their numbers were. When I ran Disney, that was my very first marathon, their count was around 26,000, and everybody there was running the full marathon. So that was by far the biggest marathon that I'd done. But that's a lot of runners. I'd like to see, especially when I'm used to running smaller races. Like I'll run Presque Isle. I've ran the Presque Isle marathon 3 times. 3 times? Yeah, I think 3 times. And I think they get something like 2,000 people, maybe not even that. So a bigger race like this they're fun. I forgot how much I missed it. Haven't done it for a long time. But it's just good to getting back out and doing stuff. This was something that I wasn't sure, less than a year ago that I was gonna get back to. It feels like a little bit of normalcy is kind of returned to my life. It's funny. I didn't think I'd get emotional over this, but anyway. I got some pictures. I'm gonna put those at the end of this. And then what's next for me? Well, I want to get through I have a race scheduled in October. That is, I've decided I'm going to start calling races that are between half marathons and full marathons. I'm going to start calling those ultra half marathons. So I have an ultra half marathon. I'm sorry for this. I feel foolish. So I have an ultra half trail marathon coming up in October. So that's going to be, I'll start working up towards that. It's something like 18 miles. It's not like it's 21 or something like that. After you get past a certain point, you just kind of stop counting. But over the summer, I've got a couple races I'm considering doing. I really would like to do the Akron half in August, I think it is, and the Presque Isle half I think that race is in July. There's also a series of 5Ks. It's a 4-race series that's kind of in my neck of the woods over the summer that I'm probably going to do, and I might. This is the thing. If I do them, I kind of want to press for speed a little bit. If I could end my summer getting a sub 25-minute 5K, and I know that's nothing to, like, for people who run 5Ks, sub 25 minutes is not a big deal, but for me it is. So if I could get like a sub 25-minute 5K by the end of the summer, I would be thrilled. So I might do that just to kind of keep me motivated, keep me going to races. The other nice thing about that series is all the races are like on Tuesday nights. So it's not busting up your weekend at all. So I might end up doing that. We'll see. And I'm still kicking around the idea of shooting for the Pikes Peak Full in 2026, but that's a ways away. But the next year, it'll basically be a year from today, because the Cincinnati and Pittsburgh hold their races the same weekend, which is really dumb. But because they're really not that far away from each other. If you, let's say you live in, I'm going to say Columbus, Ohio. Cincinnati and Pittsburgh, I think, are about the same distance. Cincinnati's probably a little closer, but, so if you're into traveling to races, and I have, like I said, I've gone to Cincinnati before, you can't do both of them in the same year. So, but anyway, that was the race that my son wanted to do for his first full marathon, was Cincinnati, and it would actually be kind of cool for that to be my first marathon back from all this. I've got to get moving. I'm not going to roll down my windows because of all the background noise and everything. Because I'm in the same parking lot that a lot of people park for the Pittsburgh Pirates games, and apparently there's a Pittsburgh Pirates game today because there are people tailgating. It's, I don't know what time it is. It's got to be 11:30, and I don't know. I'm guessing the game starts at 1, but people tailgate. And I thought, I was like, maybe I'll stick around. Nah, I stick around. I feel like crap. That was the other thing. How do I feel illness-wise? About the same as when I started. I have a feeling that kind of once I come down from the whole thing and I get home, I'm probably going to feel like a bus ran me over. But we'll see. I tell you what, I feel a lot better than I did just 2 or 3 days ago. I felt like hell on Friday. Friday was the worst. I was sick all week. I think it was allergies, but oh well. I've rambled on enough. I got some pictures that I'm going to put at the end of this. Just some stuff from the start corral. I think there's a scenery picture or two. I'm not going to talk over them or anything. But there's one picture of the scenery that I thought was kind of cool, kind of overlooking some of the highways in the city. And like I said, that picture on the bridge where the marathon and half marathon split. And what else? I think that was it. I didn't get any pictures. Well, no. And then my picture when I took at PNC Park with my medal when it was all over. So yeah, stick around, check those out if you feel like it. And special thank you for Bravada Mike for checking out my videos and commenting on them. Believe it or not, that has actually been more of a help than what you may realize. Helping me kind of going through this process and just posting videos. I tried doing some YouTube stuff in the past and never really stuck with it. But when you got somebody who is checking your stuff out and comments once in a while, it's a big motivator to keep going. So thank you very much for that. This has been your involvement in this journey has been very special for me, and I appreciate that. That's it. Catch you next time. Take it easy.